Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. We got a big one for you, baby! Joining me, as always, the fellas, Super Yahya. That's it. That's enough out of you. Downtown Duane Brown. Also enough out of you.
We talk too much about ourselves.
We have a very special guest sitting down for the first time with the local media here. New Rapids head coach, Chris Armas. Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here. Really good to be here in Denver. Really cool to be here with you guys. No holds bar here for this next bit.
Let's go.
Whatever you guys want to know. But listen, I get to know a little more about you guys on the day, and then for sure, maybe more importantly, get a sense of who I am.
Love that. Yeah, that's the goal. We're gonna learn. We want to dive into the super draft yesterday, to kind of some of the immediate Rapid stuff, but we also want to get to know Chris, the coach. So I think that's the best place to start. Obviously, legendary MLS career, jump into coaching. I guess, what's the origin story, right? Like what drove you to jump into the head coaching circuit and really want to take that next level from being a star player to then going into coaching and running these clubs?
Well, listen, when the journey started long ago, when I was a player, a little kid running around, always had passion for the game. Thank God, I was always part of good teams, winning teams, and I always had good coaches and teammates. And it's been in my life and in my blood since the day I'm born. Loving sport, loving team, loving football. As time went on, and I always took notice, and I always admired and revered my coaches. I really always revered them, and I always thought maybe one day I'll be a coach. So the dream was to be a player. When there was no pro league, my dream was to be a pro player. My mom didn't understand it. Like, how is this going to be possible? But the timing was such. When I graduated college, MLS started in '96. It was 2 years after I graduated, and I got drafted. But got to live the dream as a player. And along the way, I just really fell in love with the tactics, the leadership things, the Bill Belichick's of the world would excite me, the way they coached and spoke. And then I became a captain and leader of a team and said, one day for sure I'll coach. So took all my experiences from coaches with me along the way and grinded as an assistant coach. And I got the chance to take the reins one day in New York. And I won't look back. I've had some really interesting experiences.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about it.
We'll talk through it, and I mean it when I say it. I feel the most prepared and most ready that I've ever been as a head coach and leader to take charge here.
That's great to hear. You going?
Just kind of pushing back a little bit more into your kind of player side of it. You got to play with a lot of great players in your time in the MLS and your career. Who was one guy that you look at and just kind of inspired you to be a better coach, a better player, and even a better person at times? Because I have two great co-hosts that inspired me to be the worst. The worst in myself, not the best.
They bring out the worst.
I always try to look for good people in my life. And I just haven't found any, unfortunately.
That's good stuff. Good banter already. Look, what I would say is in Chicago with the Chicago Fire, we won some trophies in the first year as the epic double in '98. My team captain was Peter Novak, and Peter Novak was some
That's
player.
A name. That hit me right there.
He's not a name that everyone understood even at the time, but he was tremendous, and just his ability to affect games, to play with total confidence. I was watching Jokic the other night at the Denver Nuggets game. Such a playmaker. How early he's seeing things on the court. Some of these little things that I picked up reminded me of Peter Novak, and I learned a lot how to be a champion. I learned how to be a leader. I watched him in the locker room, but not the way as guys are naked.
Not in a weird way.
I watched him in the locker room. The way the taking care of the boots, cleaning the boots, the way he trained, the habits, the way he ate. Like, honestly, if you want to know what winning looks like, you got to pick a few guys that you can to look at. And for young players, this is important. They sometimes look at the wrong things, but you got to, if you pay attention, it's not so much how much you talk, it's how much you can take in. So he was some player, and I learned a lot as a person and player from Peter.
I was talking to Drew Moore recently, and I asked him, one, if you guys played each other. He remembered. Not only did he remember that, he remembered the scouting report on the midfield tandem of you and Jesse Marsh. And he said you guys basically hunting packs was how he put it. And he remembered all of that from whenever he played. I think it was his rookie season he remembered. Is that would you say an accurate representation of how you wanted to play and play with Jesse and those guys in Chicago?
Well, first about Drew Moore, when I first saw him the other day, I asked him how his body's feeling, because if I could get a little more out of him, man, I love the Colorado Rapids, but
come on, Drews,
I would like a little more
again,
if I could have him on the bench or even starting some games. But true winner, true champion. Yeah. When you talk about pros and winners, he's that. Now, if we talk about back in the day, the playing days, I was a destroyer. I was a holding midfielder. I prided myself in a lot of times I was tasked with marking the other team's best player, the playmakers. In MLS, it was Marco Echeverri, Valderrama, Cienfuegos when he was there. Like lots of these types of players, and just taking away the heartbeat of the other team. I was a prideful player. I could cover ground. I could suffer more than the next guy, and I was never dirty. Wasn't a guy of red cards and yellow cards, but I knew how to. I was a team guy, but individually I could feel like I could just put out fires, second balls, interceptions, pressures, counter pressures, all some of the intangibles that make good teams good. At least I thought that. And again, I was fortunate to be part of winning teams, and maybe I was part of that. So, yeah, that's what my job was, and it was nice that some coaches recognized that was important. And then the national team also saw that in '98, and I got my first cap with Bruce Arena in the national team, and had an 8-year career there. Again, some people would say, "Hey, we don't see it. Why is he on the national team?" And it's okay. It was always about the people that could see it, and then of course earning the respect of my teammates, the fans. And honestly, I just did it as hard as I could for as long as I could, emptying the tank every single time, and never taking one training session for granted. But this was the dream.
Before we go any further, Drew Moore, you're the worst. Duane, do you have any questions?
Jeez, Drew's taking strays.
Man, how did Drew get worked into it? Kind of on the flip side of that coin, is there a player from your time playing, or even as coach, that's kind of your rival? Like that's the bad guy that you just pushed. Like I've got to beat them.
Well,
Cello.
Cello, Drew, let's see, Pablo.
There was a game at Red Bull Arena. I'm coaching against Atlanta United. We win the match. The other coach doesn't want to shake my hand after. He was pissed off, and that the rivalry was already there as teams, but I have nothing against the coach, but then
it's on.
It's always
it's
like okay,
yeah, all right. We
but
see
yeah,
it.
and actually he, Tata is back in the league. He's one of a mentor. You look up to the way his teams play, the championships. They beat us in 18 in the conference championship. In fact, we've had some good exchanges since then. So yeah, I have the utmost respect for Tata, but oftentimes out of respect, you love the rivalry, and that's one part of it. From a player standpoint, you have to go back a little bit. Marco Echeverri was just like one of the greatest playmakers in the league.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if he liked me very much, because again, my job was to see how hard can I make it for him on the day, and it was hair pulling. I mean, you see here, he had all the hair, and and we're like wanted to kill each other, But I think when good players come together and You hate to lose that much. This is what happens. And listen, I've met him at all-star games after and things like this. You meet the families. Him and my dad, I saw them talking by the buffet once. I'm like, fuck, Dad, what the fuck are you talking? What is he saying to him, you know? But again, I have to say it, and I know Marco might say the same, is it's all good. In fact, you need that. You need this fire. And it's what I think where respect comes from. We see it at the highest levels.
See, you're already a man after my own heart. I'm not a big Tata fan, but that's mostly because I was a Mexico fan as well, and I felt like he ruined my favorite squad. Man. Again, I know Mexico's in a bad spot regardless right now, but I always like to blame somebody. That was the first guy I blamed. Federation is also, but kind of going back to like rivalries and what you kind of had. Colorado has a huge rival in RSL. We call them fake Salt Lake.
Yeah,
because they're not real. They're fake.
I got you.
I'm slow, so I gotta explain it.
Right, thank you.
I'm so sorry about Yahir.
Yeah, I'm an issue. What kind of energy are you bringing to that rivalry game, like you did as a player, or in other situations?
Well, listen, don't be too hard on Tata. If most of us coaches coming through can have the career that he's had, right, and continues to have.
Yeah, take it easy on Tata.
Take it easy.
The thing is,
I have to take some responsibility
come
on
on.
the Mexican Federation. Come on, guys. You know, USA's catching up. You know, we're there.
That's right. That's the thing.
Right.
I blame him because I didn't know who else to blame.
You gotta blame someone. I got it. The coaches, yes, we take the heat.
Yeah, be ready, Chris. You're gonna be a lot.
Listen, I saw the schedule the other day. I think it was yesterday, and someone asked me after, "Hey, did you realize when you're playing the Red Bulls?" I didn't look at that. I actually looked at when are we playing Salt Lake, and when's our home opener, and what's the first game of the year. So I saw that pretty clearly. We're at Portland.
Oh yeah.
We're hosting Nashville. We're at Salt Lake, and that's what I know.
It's a big time start
When
to
you
the
talk
season.
about Salt Lake, listen, the Red Bulls hadn't gotten a result there in all the years, and the last time I was there, we were up 1-0. We tie 1-1, but we know it's a tough place to play in general.
Yep.
They get good support, you know, and this is the one on the calendar. They'll be marking, so do we. I can tell you one thing. There's urgency in the building where we're at right now. I'm coming with urgency. I love that there's urgency from the bosses to think about the roster. There's urgency from the core group of players that we raise the bar. We bring in different talent, quality, team guys, and just add to the core that's there. But we'll throw everything at Salt Lake. We're not messing around. We're going strong.
Yes.
We're going to be from the opening whistle. I don't think anyone's going to have to wonder what it means to our players and the coaches. We know our fans will be watching. We know what it means, but that's the first part. The tougher part is to get out there and show up when the lights come on. And that'll go into preseason. And the coach is putting out a team that, and look, you'll meet one of them, right? Omir Fernandez is one of them. He scores in derby matches. When the lights come on, he's not afraid of that in the big moments. And we're going to, listen, you know, we can't predict the results, but we can control the intensity, going after it, being on the front foot, being the aggressors when we have the ball to think about verticality and forcing the issue. And defensively, we can control the work, what we put in, our mentality from the opening whistle, when we win the ball, when we lose the ball, set piece urgency. So we're high urgency as a club.
Oh yeah.
But in those matches, make no mistake, like it's going to mean a lot to and that'll show up in the way our team plays.
It was a tough time last year. I mean, especially you have a week where you lose at home in Open Cup to your biggest rival, and then you turn around in the same week, just 4 days later, and you lose at home in league to your biggest rival. It's, you know, so I think people are going to be very encouraged hearing that it was a focus the second that comes out. And it's tough this year. You get 2 on the road before you see them at home in league play.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Listen, there'll be enough guys out there. Remember those moments, what that felt like. It's good the players love to win, right? It does. It sets a certain tone for the next days, but the losses should sit longer. And then, you know, when that one comes around, like the players know what the fans mean, and they don't like losing.
Nice.
Listen, there's a trophy out there. That's one of them, right? Like this cup, we want to bring that one home.
Yep.
Our guy Matthew Wick, shout out everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching along. Says Armas is 4-1-1 with 1 goal against FSL as a player and 1-0-1 as a head coach. Pretty good. Let's keep that one going.
That's better than our record last year.
Let's keep that
Can
going.
you say that again? Can you the statistic or no?
4-1-1 with a goal as a player,
Okay.
1-0-1 as a head coach. Pretty
right.
good. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Take
Only
that
one
all day.
loss.
Yeah, we'll take that all day.
Yeah, no, I remember I didn't score a ton of goals in my career, but that was a big one. That was a good one. So.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We
Let's jump-
thank you for your service.
Yes.
Of course.
In
guys.
scoring that goal.
Anything
I can do
against
for you guys,
FSL
you
is the
know?
way to go. We saw that they're the opening sacrificial lamb to Miami, so we're pretty excited about that. We can watch the season kick off. Maybe Messi has a double hat trick against
Yeah,
FSL.
yeah.
Let's go.
No doubt.
Let's jump further up. I'm mostly curious because we only got so much time left to talk about the coaching in the background. Obviously, Toronto didn't end well, right? And obviously, it was not what you were trying to do going into Toronto. But then you make the jump overseas. You go to the Premier League. You go to my Manchester
I knew
United.
this was going to happen.
That's right.
I was trying to avoid it.
Obviously, any chance to go to a club like that, it would be tough for any coach to turn down. But in your mind, after your first experience as head coach in the MLS, what are you trying to learn over there? Or is it really just open mind, absorb every possible bit of info I can? Ralph being a big development guy. I'm just sort of curious, like, what is that mindset when you make that? I mean, that's a big jump culturally, soccer-wise, everything.
Listen, it's you try to take all of your experiences up until then and then throw everything at it.
Right.
Understanding trying to understand who you are and then stick to it as socially aware as you can be. It's so important to take all the aspects of what goes into being a good coach. It's how much of that is tactics. Jurgen Klopp would say it's 50% tactics, 50% emotion and team spirit. But listen, the stop before that, like you mentioned, was Toronto. And listen, it was really interesting because it's Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore. There's some big players, Alejandro Pozuelo. And I learned a lot from that situation. You manage a tough environment. You can see even now, have they even recovered a year and a half later? Where that cycle, I had a 3-year contract going into a place that needed a cultural shift of the cycle of where the team and the roster were at. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm always up for the challenge. And I think time would have been interesting to say, okay, let's see where we're at. Let's add to the roster. Let's take away from this roster. And this was obviously during COVID, and listen, man, that was a whirlwind, but I learned from it, which
Sure.
Then it's the next experience where, yes, you had some experience working with some big players, tough environment, out of the comfort zone. It was COVID where we play no home games in the Toronto time.
Right,
So
right.
everything's against you. But when the phone rang, imagine you're sitting at home and Ralph Rangnick texts you and, hey,
It's so cool.
you have a minute.
It's so cool.
I'm like, please don't tell me what you're gonna. I think this could be,
Right.
Like, you see the news that he's announced as the manager. He knows I come from the system that he has mentored us younger coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, it was a pretty quick phone call. Like, hey, I'm going to Manchester United.
It's
I need an
amazing.
assistant coach. I need you to come. Are you interested? Are you, Ralph? Where do I need to be? What plane? Yes,
I'm on my way to the airport right now.
So then it's like, holy shit, what did I just agree to?
That's
hey,
pretty
hon,
cool.
listen, I'm not sure. To my wife and my kids, I got, and it was, my kids are fucking 18 and 21 at the time, boys playing college soccer. Like, Dad, what the fuck are you talking about? It's nothing to
Man, you-
tell him. Right? It's like, Ralph,
There's nothing to think about.
nothing to think
So
about.
we're going to United.
Got Ronaldo, you got some of these guys, just the thought of but for me, like Manchester United, Sir Alex, Sir Alex Ferguson,
it's the peak
the
of
aura
coaching.
of what this is going to be at Old Trafford, and what is my role going to be every day. It's like there's the, again, it's the easy one is yes, right, but then you have to really be deliberate of what it's going to look like when you show up over there. And if you're not, honestly, I think you can get eaten alive.
Yeah.
What are you going to wear every day to work? How are you going to look? Do you look like a professional? Are you showing up early? How quickly can you establish yourself with the staff? With Ralph, what do you need? And can you deliver that? the media, where's the team at, scouting opposition, running training sessions, and then of course, probably most importantly, the players. Like right away, I walked into the training facility, and it's a big, wide open gym area. There's a turf space, and like I know the guys, but I'm like, fuck, that is Harry Maguire, right? Like, you know all the names, but imagine you getting that shit wrong day one. So
Paul, right? Paul Pogba, yeah,
right. Paul, bring it in, bro. So then when Cristiano's looking at me like from over there, and I see. I'm gonna go say hello, and he's right away cracks a joke about that I look like one of the workers, like the athletic trainer, like short and no hair. I'm like, okay, Cristiano, like I just met you, easy, and right away it was a little bit of a connection there, and then we get outside, and Ralph wasn't aware of that little interaction, some of that stuff, going around meeting guys, and Ralph outside says, hey, this is Chris. We have a new coach. He's going to hear it. And you say a few words that you just try to be authentic. Again, we have something in common here, guys, right? We love the game. We love the team. We're in this, whatever. And I'm here to help in every way. Like you show, okay, that's almost the easy part. Because now every day you have to now chip away at it in an authentic way. You're not the guy, right? Again, every person would do it their way. But for me, it was about the work. If I'm in charge of running training sessions, designing training sessions, or giving messages, if I'm fucking doing that and refereeing at time, how good can you be at just trying to deliver the excellence? And then any chance you get to talk, you're at the airport or this or that, and guys are talking to you, players, you're not fooling this room. You're not fooling those players, I promise you. They're geniuses in the game of soccer in their minds, and the more you talk, the more you reveal what you know and who you are. And again, I was very deliberate about my approach in every conversation, and I asked a lot of questions, and I connected with guys in football. And hey, listen, enough. Stop talking. Come to the office after for VAR if you think we got the call wrong. Like, you have to stick up for yourself. Right. The media, they're coming after you. Ted Lasso, shit goes wrong over there. Why would you? Okay, is it the players? Is it that? No, it's the the American coach. Training sucks. Right. Okay. Training sucks. Like, we just had a really, really good training session, but and you're not going out on social media to say, well, actually, it's just you got to take it. But what really matters most at the Colorado Rapids is what mattered there. That you internally, you get the respect by the work you do, and then you try to repeat that, because that's what's going to hold up, guys. So over there, tremendous experience. Learned a lot from Ralph Rangnick. His leadership, his management, the philosophy that we love, his ability with media. He's a smooth operator, man. Let me tell you, and his ability to deal with big players and egos and personalities, top notch. Learn a lot from the players, of course, top players, and you can learn a lot again if you listen more than you think you should need to talk. And the Premier League, right? You learn a lot.
I mean, it's probably nice having De Gea on one end and Cristiano Ronaldo on the other end.
A young Garnacho running around.
Listen, give credit to Ralph Rangnick. He brought regularly Garnacho into training. It wasn't always a regular thing, but Ralph believes in the young players, and as I do. And
that kid is.
He's got something, right? And, listen, it was De Gea at one end, Cristiano at the other end. But look, when you see it up close, Bruno Fernandez, Eddie Cavani. Victor Lindelof, Maguire, who takes a lot of heat over there. For me, Harry Maguire is a top. He is. It's hard to see
Player
it.
Of the month.
It's hard to always see it. And again, whether it's externally what is said, to see how good he can be, and then you go watch him with England, you say, wow, it's tremendous. But what's really crazy, right? Everywhere you look in that squad, it's just tremendous quality and talent. And some of the guys that aren't playing, I mean, again, Paul Pogba, who's coming off an injury, you say, wow, what a talent. Just a pure, Martial, we've gone through it.
Yeah, the list goes on.
Matic.
You can just got to name them all.
Let's go. I'm so pumped.
You know them all. But listen, what an honor, what an experience I took from it, and here we go.
I mean, you were saying you graduate college and there isn't a professional team. Yeah. Imagine telling that Chris Armas, hey, you're going to walk into Carrington coaching the squad. That's crazy, huh?
It would it would be hard to believe, actually. Like, I'd walk around at night, because I was the last to leave that building. I made friends with the guys coming vacuuming at night because I was my wife. Everyone's there. They'd come visit. Like, it was a whirlwind. But I tried to learn everyone's name in the first few days, and I got it down.
That's pretty cool.
I got it down. I promise you that. But I would walk the halls, and just at night the lights are kind of off, and you walk in the hallways at Carrington and seeing the history at that club. You know, the messaging about young players and being fearless and giving them a chance. And I took it all in, you know. I really did, and only felt obliged to kind of the next day show up and try to repeat it. So, how should a guy like me, the kid from the Bronx, and you know, Omir Fernandez, I tell him there's one from the Bronx. It's me, not him. But you know, it's. But you know what? So, and then even listening to some people back home, I won't mention names. Some of the media, like, why is Chris Armas over there? He shouldn't be over there. Give me a fucking break. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're an American seeing another American, and this is a player in the league who actually played against me. We've never had a bad interaction. If I saw that player over there, I said, "Fuck yeah!" If I can get his number, and say, "Hey, we're so proud of you. We're so behind you." Why is he over there? He doesn't deserve that. But it doesn't matter. You're there.
Right. You're there. You made the connection. You did the work.
Internally, get to it. We finished in sixth place that year. A lot of people called it a failure. If that's a failure, after a few $100 more million of spending, how it was actually successful. That Ralph Rangnick kept that together. It was not an easy time, I promise you. And there was some success in that. So
that's awesome.
I was proud to be part of that, and grateful to Ralph and the club giving me that chance.
That's awesome. We're going to dive into some Rapid-specific stuff here in a second. Really quick, we got to shout out the partners. Got to shout out the homies at Illegal Pete's. Has anyone told you about Illegal Pete's yet?
No, just
oh man. Well, listen up. If you like a good burrito, love a margarita, love a beer, Illegal Pete's is the spot. This episode of DNVR Rapids is sponsored by Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot this holiday season. From caterings to gift cards, they have the perfect gift for everyone at your holiday party. Whether you are shopping for a margarita maniac or a queso connoisseur, Illegal Pete's is your one-stop shop to spread the cheer. Grab $100 in Illegal Pete's gift cards, get an extra $25 gift card for free. Looking for some fun stocking stuffers? Check out their holiday merch sale. All t-shirts are just $15 through the end of the year. Happy holidays from your favorite spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. We are also brought to you by Breck Distillery. What a great holiday gift, right? We just had our holiday party. There's some bottles exchanged. It's like the go-to.
It's right here on the
it's
table.
Right there in front. You can tell that the Broncos guys got into some Breck bourbon already.
If you can get us to 50 likes, I'll take a shot of that right on set.
50 likes, that's it. Let's go. Like it up out there.
I don't think we'll get to the 50 likes right now.
I don't think so either, but it's worth asking.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a shot
Can't get what
of
you
it.
don't ask for, you know? So, they're also introducing a new Broncos Blizzard vodka commemorating the first white alternate Broncos helmets. Breck Distillery is the world's highest distillery, founded in 2008. And they are most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey, a high rye mash American-style whiskey. Breckenridge Bourbon is one of the most highly awarded craft bourbons in the U.S. The Breck Distillery is more than award-winning spirits. They offer an immersive guest experience. You can eat at their award-winning restaurant, enjoy show-stopping cocktails, and learn about their highly awarded spirits with an in-depth tasting and get an inside look at their active production facility. New to the distillery, guests have the opportunity to blend their own whiskey as they learn the inner workings of whiskey production. If you're hanging out here at the DNVR bar, if you're hanging out for happy hour with Chris afterwards, grab a Riki Seltzer. They're made with Breck spirits. It's a great drink. Nice, easy bar drink. And they'll also be out at all our Broncos tailgates and DNVR bar watch parties all year long, so make sure to get a taste. Breck Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer or visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits. Après anywhere. All right, that's out of the way. Rapids. Right? You finish up in the Premier League at Leeds. You're looking for an opportunity. You mentioned in the press conference where you were introduced over at Dick's that you targeted this job when you heard it was available.
Yeah.
That this was something you saw as an opportunity that was a good fit for you. What was it that drew you into the Rapids?
Yeah, look, at that time, there was a bunch of openings in MLS and rumblings of more openings.
A third of the league turned over, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, like I have an agent, and I just kept, living each day. Like nothing was interesting enough. And yeah, like sometimes clubs reach out to you or your agent said, hey, there's an interview. Are you interested in interviewing? There was not anything from my end saying, hey, that seems interesting. When I listened to Porig speak, and I listened back to it twice, so I heard it twice, and he talked about, getting back to a style of play, that the club's gotten away from certain things, that in 1920 into 21, there was a process that they stuck to, and the style of play that was built around transition and energy. And it started connecting and talked about the people and the culture. And I messaged my agent, and he wouldn't communicate the way I could, so I almost put it in writing, because knowing that if he thought maybe to forward something, he said, look, if hey Ron, that sounds really interesting. I know you speak to Porig, but because Ron, my agent, he's got a lot of coaches in and around the league. And I said, if they're interested in a coach that can coach a transition, if he's interested in a guy that can bring together a locker room to play with intensity, urgency, pressing, counter-pressing, team first type of stuff, like, I'd love to have a chance to talk to them. And he tells me then, I sent it just like you said it, Chris. They might want to speak with you. So the rest is history. I went through the process. Proud that went through that process, and it was labor intensive in terms of you prepare for it. There's presentations. There's initial Zooms. You're sharing your screen. It's tons of questioning, and bam, you get to the next stage of it, which is come to town. Then it's a day and a half of 3 hours with that group. 4 more people come in. Hour after hour after hour, you're at dinners, and then they tell you, you're our guy, and that it may be one of the proudest moments of my coaching career.
That's amazing.
It's a big win. You know what I'm saying? When for a coach, that people listen to you, they you kind of show some vulnerability. You talk about your family. You talk about what's important to you. Of course, what we love to do, talk the tactics, and hey guys, what about this? What about that? Like. And they say, yeah, all of that. You're meeting the academy people, the second team coaches. You're our guy. So I don't take that lightly. That they've shown the belief in me. But I really believe I'm a good fit for this organization, for the club, for where they're at, for the rosters at, the space that we can bring in. It's a hungry organization. I think the style of play is exactly what can be a good fit. And even at altitude, I think it can really make some noise.
When you got the job, it was announced, and with the fan base that was already maybe at the lowest I've ever seen it as a fan from 15 plus years now, the reaction was not excited that you were going to be the next head coach of the Rapids. I've heard you mention in the presser and in other places about how important the fan base is. I feel personally like in a put up or shut up situation, you have put up and you have shown up for the fans. You were with C38 last night. You're here with us on the show today. You're going to be hanging out with fans downstairs in the bar. I'll put a cap on it before I get to the question part, but even in the comments from Steven earlier in the show said, dude hasn't put a wrong foot since landing in Denver. Chris has won me over. I cannot tell you what a huge statement that is based on the original reception that you got. What you've done with the fan base already it's not just commendable, it's impressive given the state of sadness that has been here over the past season.
It's rough. It was so rough.
Tell all of us, watching, tell us, like, we know a lot about already how important it is to you. But also, what are the specific things that fans can expect from you as the new head coach, from players and from the organization as it relates to keeping the connection with the fan base and keeping that going?
There's a lot there, honestly, and it means a lot that you share that with me.
Judgmental Jim. As his name says, he's very judgmental.
That's our guy.
He's already winning. You're
Let's
winning.
go.
You're already winning him over.
Yeah.
ultimately, listen, I'm well aware that this is so important, the initial stage of this. And it's really, and I might say it tonight if I get to talk to somebody, like you all getting to know me a bit, what the coach will, things I care about on the pitch, off the pitch, that's important. But more importantly to me is understanding what do the fans want? What type of team do they want? What's important to you all? That's the first part. The next part is the reason why I think people are giving me a chance, a break, open to it, like me. I don't know. I'm a real guy. Like it's not just because I'm from New York. I come from a good family. They've taught me the right things. It's all about hard work, treat people the right way. But part of being real is to create demands and standards. So I've been part of success at the club level as a player, as a coach. I've seen it where it's been difficult. I don't make excuses. I took a lot of fucking heat in Toronto, I promise you.
Oh,
and then there's not a people who
easy.
There was a lot of things you can point to that were wrong there that I took heat for. Mm-hmm. I never blamed the player. I took responsibility for a lot of things I probably shouldn't have. But that's just who I am. But I didn't come here to lose. You know what I'm saying? I've been part of winning, and now it's the next part is in sport. Yeah, we're in the entertainment business. We are. If the players lose sight of what this is all about, then they're lost. You know, and I knew that when I was a player. When I was a captain of a team, I've ripped a teammate for walking past fans without signing autographs. I never got through the tunnel without stopping and making sure that, okay, hey, Armas, if I sign one more, that means 20 more minutes. I already went around. I already did it. I'm done. I'm fucking pissed. I want to go home because we lost or we tied but I stop, which means no problem. I'll do more. But I always understood that. I always did. And the bigger I got or become a max salary player, or you're on the national team and you're voted player of the year. So you're voted best player in the entire United States of America. Chris Armas, yeah. I never forgot about the fans, acknowledging the fans.
It's amazing.
And my players will do that here. Because I value it, they'll value it. And I know there's a lot of guys that do. Cole Bassett's, these guys, Connor Ronan, they're good men. But the new direction in me, it'll be clear what the fans mean to our players. That is win, lose, or draw. And you fucking lose, you make sure you go show your face. That's easy when you win and you score goals. Hey, here I am. No, it's when things are tough, you got to try to be at your best. And this is what I understand. And some of that realness comes out in some conversations. And listen, it's... But I'll finish with that. The initial feeling, right? We start winning games left and right. Yeah, things work itself out. But the Colorado Rapids fans are good. I've been in the building. I didn't like playing here. I didn't like coaching here.
Hell yeah,
they're good fans.
That's awesome.
When I was sitting out on the couch in the end of the MLS season, me and my son were saying, "Look at the crowd. They're out of the playoffs. The guys are still fighting." At the end of the year, like at home, I saw guys sliding, blocking shots, and in the background, you saw fans still in the building. And I said, Chris, to my son, maybe we get that job, Chris. Like, I can see myself there. Like, I would. The fan base would have to be hungry and pissed. Why? How should they feel? Like, right? If fans are good, that means they have passion, right? Fans aren't good when they just come and that's pretty good. They have passion, so when things are good, they're going strong. When things are tough, yeah, like they're still coming, but they're going to let you hear it. At Old Trafford, they do it. They fucking let you know.
Oh, yeah.
If you pass the ball backwards instead of forward, they're letting you know if that wasn't the right pass. So if they're smart, which the Rapids fans are, they know what they're looking at. By the way, they've had success. They lifted the trophy, and a few years ago, first place. How should they feel? How many people were they going to get excited about? Oh my God, he's the next coach. Okay, fucking Pep Guardiola's coming through. Yeah, we're happy, but who were they going to be really happy? So that doesn't even matter. How should they feel? They should be pissed.
Sure.
This is their club. It's not Chris Armas' club.
Right.
Right? Like, I hope I'm here. I hope I fucking pull a Popovich. Like, I'm here for 20. Like, I'm up for it. I'd love to be here for a long time. It's not a stepping stone job for me. I really would love to be here. But the fans, this is their club.
I love that.
And we want the same thing. And if we're winning games, if we're playing on the front foot, if they come and they like what they see, the team's going to do well. And then we would have earned the support and the trust. I just I want to keep asking, just give the guys a chance, give us a chance to see what goes on. And we understand how they feel. And I'm going to keep getting to know what's important to them, even tonight. So
kind of to build a winner, to get to the place you want to get, you need to acquire players. You've acquired one that we're all really excited about, and it's in the building tonight, Omir Fernandez. So if you're here today, you might be able to meet him. But you also acquired 6 players through the super draft. It was 6, right?
6.
And it was 3 of the top 5 players in almost everybody's big board. What process did it go to, and what type of player are you looking to bring into Colorado to help you build, to help the fans see a winner out there every week?
We were very excited after the draft.
Yeah, we were talking privately, and I was
The
excited.
draft is so boring, and it was so much fun.
It was
yesterday.
really fun. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
making moves.
It was great.
Getting the name. Like, the MLS draft can be so, like, who's that guy? Look at Moise Bombito. None of us knew who Moise Bombito was, and now he comes through as a legit guy. Walk us through that process and those guys that you brought in and what you saw in that.
The first thing I would say is, I've been aboard for a few months now. And what besides seeing a hungry organization, I've gotten to see and ask lots of questions of, my bosses, the processes, acquisition, who are we getting rid of, who are we keeping? Come on, I'm asking and I'm saying, they're smart people making decisions, and they're pushing, and the owners. I've met with Josh Kroenke. He's behind us. He really is behind us. I love it. I love hearing the thoughts about the direction. Then you also get to see what does the scouting department look like? What is the process? How are we identifying? MLS, from overseas to MLS trade possibilities. Are we attacking free agency? And what about the college? That was the next up for on the docket. And to see the process, to see how hard the scouts are working, to see the profiles, the videos, like holy shit, the data and analytics that we're scooping around on players, the amount of conversations that our scouts have had with college coaches about those kids. So really, really good to see that.
Yeah.
Then we go to the combine and we scouted players, right? We watched the games, we got notepads out. It's really a thorough process. And then at the combine in Arizona a few weeks ago, you're able to interview players. You get 20-minute slots. You get in front of them. Our scouts are in the room. A couple of assistant coaches, Porig. Really a good room of Brian Crookham, our second team champion. Like, it meant a lot to that. The Rapids room there. It meant a lot for us to get to know that kid. You're not finding out how well he can pass a soccer ball in that meeting. You're asking questions about the kid, the character, his family. What does he think about winning? Hey, we're going to play an up-tempo style of play, pressing, this, that. What do you think of that? And you hear how he talks about it. Does his face light up? He's like, I don't know. Hey, you know what? Tomorrow's scrimmage, why don't you show us some of this stuff, and you get that kid to think, hey, I'd love to play for the Rapids, So we took it serious, like we represented. We had 13 people there from our club. I don't think anyone had that many. If there's a gem out there, we wanted to find that.
That's cool.
And on our board, we got a bunch of our top picks. Now, time will tell where those, but we will put those kids in a good environment. We got young players. You got Wayne Frederick from Duke, smart kid, but humble. He says in our interview, hey, when I step across that line, something changes. I don't want to lose. So we're looking for mentality monsters, guys that understand. So quite simply, like, we're looking for guys in our club that, team first guys, but understand our style of play. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
In those meetings, we're not trying to overthink it, right? Is that kid a team first? Does he blame his teammates in those little meetings? Is he talking about the team? I love the team. And does his face light up? And does he have the physical profile to play our style?
Sure.
So, look, Porig, he's pushing everyone around him right now, and me. He's pushing us, and I feel really good to be part of where we are. And
awesome.
Honestly, he stood in front of the room yesterday and said, guys, I'm proud of this room. And he pushed everyone's ass hard, I promise you. But he then said, guys, really, really well done. It's important that's maybe he takes some heat these days. I don't know, but he's cranking.
Yes,
yeah. But listen, yes, of course, when you're in front of it, you have to in tough times. Hopefully, he got credit for when the team kicked some ass a few years ago. But listen, to wrap that up, Kamani Bain Stewart, like Nate Jones, left-footed center back. We got some weapons.
Big dude,
we have
too.
some. big dude that talks about winning and hating to
that.
lose and can run and competing and
He
humble.
has the face, with all due respect, of an asshole on the field.
Which is what we want.
We want some a-hole. Like, we want some guys that, the a-holes. We say we want some rule breakers.
Yeah,
love
you
that.
do.
Love that.
So within the confines, but we want guys with personality, pace,
Yeah.
power, and personality.
Totally.
Porig says, but the personality piece, that's not, everyone has personality. Everyone has their own personality, but we want guys that they're, when the lights come on, we're going to Salt Lake, that they're not going to be afraid of those
gonna
moments. You know what I'm
win.
saying? Well, how do you
Yeah.
get those guys? Well, we can coach it. Hey, come on. But you got to find some of those guys in their DNA. So we were looking for personality.
I like that.
On the pitch, for sure.
Sure.
And off the pitch. So
Let's talk about
We
your
got some
other-
good ones.
Let's talk about your other new addition, a guy you're very familiar with, made it official. Omir Fernandez in from Red Bull, a guy you've been around, seen his growth and development. There was probably some other former players that you've been around as a coach that maybe you could have targeted, but that was guy number one in. I guess tell us why. Like, why is he such a Chris Armas guy? Why is he going to be such a good fit here?
look, I think he'd be a good fit for a lot of teams in this league and around the world. He has qualities. His superpower is attacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's, I have to coach his ass to defend and sprint and run, but he's going to get paid the big bucks to score goals, to make assists. He's a. I think I'm a little taller than him, so that doesn't say a lot, but we say shifty. He's clever. He can play in the pockets as an attacker, and we're going to play between lines, and he loves competition. He loves to play. There's joy. How do you know, if you say, do you love playing? Everyone says, yeah, he loves it. I had him when he was like 20 years old, and yeah, it was tough messages to him, it's got to be better. You got to be more reliable. Come on. And he always would come and try to be better, so folks back in New York say, Chris, he's a reliable piece right now. Of course, he's scoring goals. He always could score goals, but he's a pro in the locker room. He's becoming more of a leader for a young guy to hear about. He's more of a leader in the locker room. I said, look, you got to bring that this way too, man. It's at Manchester, they say, when you're good enough, you're old enough. It doesn't
right.
matter your age necessarily. So we're going to push his leadership. And listen, he's going to be fun to watch. We expect him to help us bring the style of play to life, the intensity of against the ball, but of course the verticality, the cleverness, the goals, the tap-ins, the celebrating goals. That I think he's going to be one that the fans are thinking, yeah, he's a little bit of a fan favorite.
Somebody in the comments asking, he's such a versatile player. Where do you want to put him? Where do you envision him on the pitch for the Colorado Rapids? As a winger or in the midfield?
Yeah, listen, our wingers are going to play a little bit more interior. It's we'll have some width for sure from wingers at times, and sometimes it's fullbacks. But we'll have width. But as we get further up the pitch, we want those wingers, those goal scorers, to start like on angles and wedges. We say so. We'll even cut our field at times with cones and shape it certain ways that in the final third we get attackers almost like 3 or 4 strikers
In the half spaces.
and then narrowness to goal.
Yeah.
So we'll coach it in a way we get those guys in and around where they actually can score and assist.
Like
Goal
that.
zone, assist zone. It's not going to be in those wide areas. So wide, he's going to be a guy that can operate wide, interior in the pockets. He's a guy. He can play any of the front, let's say 3 areas. Left,
Sure.
He's going to probably be in one of those wider areas. He would tell you that he wants to play on the left. It might be the case, but we can use him on the right. But in the end, where he's going to be operating is in those gaps behind the opposition 6 and in front of the opposition back line. And if it's not even that big of a space at times, that's one of his strengths, is that he can play in those tight little spaces.
Love that.
And can turn and then attack. He's not a guy that you're going to see happy playing backwards all the time. He's an option A guy, we say. He likes to play forward. He likes to run behind. He's clever with the ball at his feet. He draws fouls. He has courage to step up and bury penalties. Someone else might have to duke him out for that. Rafa Navarro, maybe, who's much bigger and stronger. So they can speak Spanish a little bit or Portuguese.
Yeah.
Figure
And
it out.
so he's basically the definition of an inverted winger, kind of what
Inverted
you have.
winger.
Yeah, that kind of like what you had up
Yes.
like the early Barcelona days with Pep, where you had those guys kind of crashing into
Sure.
the middle. That 10 kind of drew into that 9 was more of a 10,
Yeah.
and they were your main strikers. Kind of that's kind of what you think of him.
Exactly.
Love that.
Exactly.
Let's play a little game. We got a little either or for you. First, we have to talk about our friends over at Game Time. Look, I just used Game Time Monday night. I'm trying to go to that Nuggets game. I want to see him beat Luka because why don't you want to see two of the best play against each other any opportunity you can? And we're looking last week. Oh, tickets are okay. We'll wait. Okay, keep going. Gets closer to game time. Oh no, they went up $80 a ticket. What are we gonna do? Drops right back down. Got them for cheaper than when we looked the first time, and it's because of Game Time, man. Game Time is here for last minute tickets, for easy to find, easy to buy. Gives you all the details you need to know, how much it's going to cost after fees, all that. Lowest price guaranteed, even cancellation protection, job loss protection, all that. Views from your seats in the app. I love that. I love being able to say, what's it going to look like? Can I see the bench? Can I see the tunnel where they're coming in? I always look through that when I'm looking for tickets, and it's perfect using Game Time. It's the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase, and it makes a great holiday gift. Who doesn't love, hey, by the way, we're going to a concert in a couple weeks. Oh, hey, we're going to a Broncos game. It's great. You can see the view from your seat before you buy. You know exactly what to expect. All-in prices get your total up front, so you know you're getting a great deal. And you can buy in seconds with just 2 taps. Game Time is obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. They have deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour in. It's the place to find the last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you can pick the section and Game Time can pick the seats, and you end up saving almost 20%. That's awesome. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They will give you money for finding cheaper tickets. Doesn't get better than that. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, either or. I'm going to let Yahya drive the bus on this one. That's his favorite. He's done it for Porrick sat here and got the either or. I think Emilio got an either or sitting over here.
Is that right? Okay.
It's kind of we've made it kind of a first time guest. We try to like
We
play a
want to
little
get to know
game,
you a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Let's
chime
do
in
it.
if we have silly answers, but this is about you.
and then
Okay.
we'll also have some silly ones in here. Give me a quick minute because I was not prepared, even though I created this.
Come on.
Okay, I found them. Here we go.
Professional podcast here.
Oh, it's not professional at all. We're semi-pros. We're the USL 1 of the
That's
podcasting
right.
world.
And we're really good at it.
Really fun to watch, but not great all the time. Okay, first, would you rather? Would you rather win the Rocky Mountain Cup or get a home playoff game? I'm putting you right on the spot.
Let's go. We're starting with the bangers.
So you said or get the first playoff game,
Or get a home playoff game.
so we can still make the playoffs
Yes, in this
Yeah, yeah.
scenario.
for sure. Rocky Mountain Cup.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Would you rather sign an ex-Leeds player or an ex-Manchester United player?
I mean, come on.
Next question. That's
Yeah.
duh.
Come on.
Hello.
Come on.
That's the easiest
Man,
of all
you-
questions.
Say, hey, listen, there's a free agent. Come on, baby.
Give me
Commerce City's lovely this
give me
time of
Tyler
year.
Adams over any other Manchester United player.
Man
out
U
there.
player.
Let's go.
Man U player. I love Tyler. Man U.
Win the MLS Cup or win the Supporter Shield.
Another easy one. Cup.
Oh, okay.
Cup.
There was a big debate out there. Which one's more important?
Get the ring, brother. Come on.
There we go.
Count
That's
'em.
what I love to
Count
clean.
'em.
Get a shutout or score a hat trick.
Me as a.
You get to score the hat trick, but if not, you get
It has
the
to
shutout.
be the shutout because that says we won the game, right?
That's right.
Well, you
Hold on, the
can
Rapids
also
did have
draw.
6
No,
0-0
see,
games at home last year.
no.
6.
See, I like the brain on that.
Yeah.
Is you could get a hat trick and still lose.
I didn't.
But
I don't want to run the risk of
vision
losing.
is on the win, and so that's the right
That's good.
answer.
That's
You
good.
get a point guaranteed at least.
Yeah, I'll take it.
No.
Yeah.
Get him, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Get the assist of the year or the goal of the year.
Goal of the year. Anyone who says assist is fucking lying.
Stop. That's
I don't wanna
impressive
hear
as a midfielder, honestly.
Stop.
Hang on, yo. Jokic,
Stop it.
Jokic says scoring makes one person happy, assists make 2 people happy.
Trust me.
This
They're all lying.
he plays basketball.
That's true. Different sport.
Listen, Sasha Kljestan, he won the assist, a few years in a row. He'd rather score the goal of the year.
He'd rather have that Garnacho
There's nothing like
bicycle.
scoring the goals. And I was an assist guy because I couldn't score goals. Not because I preferred them.
All right. Penalty shootout or a golden goal?
100% golden goal. I would eliminate it all, and I want to see it play like every other sport in the world, like when it comes down to the elimination games.
Ooh, golden
It
goal, man.
has to be golden goal. For me, at least you have a chance of seeing who's the better team, not it's like, would we ever want to see us to determine in a basketball game who takes better free throws? That doesn't determine the better team for me. So I want to earn it, yeah.
I
Or
love
not.
golden goal.
You golden goals are my favorite all the time.
Golden goal. I would be in favor of this till they drop. Keep going. Take
I
the
think
player
that's
off.
as cool
I
as
don't
it
know.
gets, man.
But it's also so intense.
Well, exactly.
We want intensity. We love
Yeah,
it.
but it's also like I
Yeah.
feel bad if if you have a midweek game and you're going to golden goal. I mean, league play, I guess.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. So those are all the ones that I had that were more kind of
All right.
soccer oriented. Do you have any fun ones that you want to?
Rapid Man or literally any other mascot on the planet.
Rapid Man.
That's right. That is the correct answer.
Wow,
Some of these-
what a guy.
Rapid Man, yeah, for sure.
The Drew ones were a little bit harder, I feel.
He's not as smart as me.
That's very little people are as smart as you, but Drew's also very low bar to clear. Let's make that clear. I'm gonna clip this and send it to you personally.
I mean, not a lot of love from Drew in that area.
Oh,
over
I
there.
love Drew,
Hang
but he
on.
also
That
finds
guy.
me immediately and starts giving me shit every time I see
This is from a place of love and appreciation for our guy. He sat right here. He actually sat here. We were watching the World Cup final. He was doing a watch along with us live, and he was able to talk us through those penalties and he was in penalties in a cup final, so that's about as close as we'll never be that close, right? So he was able to sit here and walk us through.
That's
It
really
was-
cool.
It
Good
was
stuff.
awesome.
So
Here's
on.
one last one.
Yeah.
I have one more real quick before you go there.
Okay, go for it.
Since you were in England, do you prefer coffee or tea?
Okay, I'm not afraid to say it. But I became a tea guy for about a year.
Wow.
In Manchester, in England, this is it's the assistant coaches. It's tea all the time. Sipping tea after in the morning, in the afternoon. It's tea.
Hit him with Alex Morgan.
Ronaldo caught me putting some honey in my tea, and he looked at me like, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, that shit's no good." And
See, this is where the Ted Lasso comparisons were dumbfounded. You like tea, he didn't. Like
no, but
it's
it's the sugary stuff that you put in
Yeah.
it. But I enjoy a good cup of coffee.
Great
Awesome.
one from our guy Judgmental Jim. New York dollar slice or New York dollar dog?
Dog?
Yeah, you dog on the street or grab a slice real quick.
Slice, guys, slice. New York pizza, New York bagels. That's what
That's
it
the
is.
best part.
Hot dogs, dogs. Okay, it's New York. It's the pizza.
Absolutely agree. Go ahead.
Win as a player or win as a coach?
Now we got the hard one.
I would
thankfully.
say. I would say win as a coach. I think it's harder.
Right, because you don't have that level of control that you do.
It's
out there.
you have control, and someday, and then you can control so much leading into it, and then you can
Just
get a
hope they
few
listen.
substitutions halftime. Like, come on, guys, let's move this around. But you're
It's out of your hand. Yeah.
You just
then
hope they
but
listen.
then it comes back to if you really prepare the right way,
Yeah.
you have control. So, but as a coach, it always felt like, man, when I'm out there, I could influence things a little more directly.
Cool.
So yeah, I think it's harder when you can get a group of guys around you doing a certain way. You're directly a part of the style of play, and yeah, coach.
All right, I got a couple quick ones in terms of looking for players to add to your team. Do you want speed or toughness?
Toughness, especially mental.
Ball control at your feet or passing?
I like that you said like that, passing forward. For me, vertical passing, yes. The guys that can be precise with the vertical passing, yeah.
I have one last actual question, not a would you rather though.
That's fine. Let's get to that because we got to wrap it up. So this is the end of it right
So
here. Yep.
last one that I got.
Bring it home.
Which player on the current roster are you most excited to work with that you didn't bring in?
That I didn't bring in?
Yeah, that you didn't. That was here from last year.
I have two. Can I name two?
Of course.
Go ahead.
Cole Bassett.
We love Cole. He's
Because
also been on
because
set
I
here.
know I can. I know I can push him to be even more.
Goal basket, as we like to call him.
We love him.
I think there's more there. I think there's more for him. A coach that I want to show real belief in him, but from a leadership standpoint, I'm not sure there's another guy that loves the club as much,
Yep.
We love Cole.
that cares as much, that's come through. He's hungry. He's a competitor. He's got ultra belief. That's a nice athlete to work with. When you talk about hungry guys,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one is Rafa Navarro, because I think if we can get everything around him right, and Cole doing what he does, and Omir doing, and a couple of the guys we're thinking about in those spaces, there's lots of guys that in the core group, but Navarro I know can score goals, and I love that he works hard, he chases and he runs, but he's a goal scorer.
Perfect.
And we want him to work hard, but we want him to score goals, and I think we can help him.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, Mitch, thank you, brother.
Super
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, plug us out of here.
DNV Rapids, wherever you hear us. We'd really appreciate that. Give us a 5-star review on all podcast platforms.
Hold on, there's
Follow
43
Chris.
watching right now. All of you hit a like button right now.
Yeah,
Please and thank
those
you.
50 like buttons are not going to get in time for me to take a shot of that thing. But either way, man, Chris, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming
yeah,
on.
thank you.
Honestly, you won a lot of people over, including, I think, the panel a lot.
No, I
and I
appreciate
think
it. I feel good being here. I feel at home in Denver here with all of you.
Let's go.
It's my people. I feel it already. So thank you.
we're going to get so many dubs this year.
We're going to go have some drinks downstairs with Chris. If you're around, come by the DNVR bar. Say what's up. Become a diehard member. You get 20% off your tab if you're hanging out here. Guys, hang on with us through the offseason. We're going to have updates on inbound transfers. We're going to talk schedule next week. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. Hang tight. We won't always have someone as important to the operation as Chris with us, but we're going to keep it going all offseason. And more important than all of that, the way we end every single show, up the PIDs.
We all silly like the mayor.